I'd like to call your attention to a real special verse in Jeremiah 3. It's verse 16. And when you have multiplied and increased in the land in those days, declares the Lord, they shall no more say, the ark of the covenant of the Lord. It shall not come to mind or be remembered or visited. It shall not be made again. So this is about the Ark of the Covenant. And if you notice, it talks about come to mind. So in my teachings, remember the Ark is the control center because the whole tabernacle is a body. It's a microcosm of the body. And the Ark represents the mind or the brain. And so we have the word mind. We have the word remembered. Actually, in Hebrew, the word isn't mind, it's heart, but it's leb. But that's what they considered from where your thoughts came from, the heart. And then it says, or be remembered. That word in Hebrew is zakar. And then it talks about or visited. So I looked these words up, and remember the time when the earth was flooded and the Lord was talking about how all the imagination of the thoughts of the heart were evil. Well, that's the first time that word is used there. And that was a time of judgment. And if you remember in my teachings, the ark represents also the sixth feast, which is Yom Kippur. Actually, it's not a feast, it's a Moedim. It's an appointed time. And so, again, in my teachings, the sixth day was when man was created. And in my teaching, I say that's the day that he also fell. And he partook of the tree, and everything happened. Okay, God covered them. That's Kippur, Yom Kippur, the day of covering, and they all received their curses. The man, the woman. The woman's was more related to childbearing. So remember, you got to remember all that and make all the connections. So the word remembered is zakar, and that's used when the Lord remembered Noah. Remember, Noah was in the ark, and the earth was flooded. Again, it's a time of judgment. And so it says the Lord remembered Noah. So, it talks about Noah's ark, but even though ark is not the same as the Ark of the Covenant, they use the same word. The Bible translators use the same word, but it's not the same word in Hebrew. I guess they should have just said boat or something for Noah's boat, but they called it ark. And they're probably trying to give you a hint that, it's kind of like salvation, like the Ark of the Covenant or something. I'm not sure why they use the same word, but so remember, the ark is salvation. It's a picture of salvation also. And so then the next word is visited. It says it shall not be visited. So if you go back and you look at that word in Hebrew, that is when the Lord visited Sarah and she conceived miraculously Isaac. So remember, again, in my teachings, the ark represents the womb, and so it's a male that's inside. The male parts are inside. And so basically it's like a pregnant womb. The rod, the manna, the two stones are inside. And then it says it shall not be made again. So the word made is a sa, and the first time that's used is when God made the heavens. And remember, the most holy place is like the third heaven. It's the spiritual realm. So go back and take a look at that. Anyway, that spoke to me because, that's my teaching. That's like, it makes all the connections there. Why would it say that? It shall not come to heart or be remembered or visited. And remember, the heart in my teaching is the censer. And on the day of Yom Kippur, the day of atonement, the day of covering, the priest has to go inside with the censer. It's the little fire pot that has the incense in it. Okay, so that's just a quick little verse that is interesting in Jeremiah for you to take a look at regarding the ark.